our webinars that run this year, you are not eligible to win again this year. So here there are few quick housekeeping rules. That first of all, please feel free to type your question in the Q&A box at any time. We are going to stop and answer you live. Second thing, that you can always use the chat to interact with each other and even though to interact with our panelists. The webinar is going to be recorded so that the record is going to be sent to you via email at the end of this webinar. So, without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce you our CEO, Mr. Muhammad Aliyan, to kick off with a keystone on why this webinar is going to be so special for you. So, Muhammad, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Diana, and thank you so much, everyone, for being with us today. As always, our webinars are different, they're educational, they're engaging, and they're fun to attend. And today we have some of the greatest minds in the industry today, from Xcitium, Zecurion, and EasyDmark, those ones that did disrupt the industry and everything they did. I've been in the cybersecurity industry since high school, and I haven't seen as much disruption as these guys did in the last several years. Before I move on to my to the keynote, I would like first to thank some of our partners and resellers in the region that helped in supporting this webinar, inviting customers. So I'm going to share my screen and show their names and logos. Of course, thanks to everyone, but these gentlemen, these companies like Innovative Quality Technologies in Saudi, FSD in the UAE, IBT in the UAE, Seniors IT from Jordan and Qatar, UTP Systems, Egypt, Jordan and Iraq, Tech IT support in Oman, and Secure Way in Yemen. Special thanks to you guys for sending the invitations and getting everyone to join us. We really appreciate your partnership. These are companies, guys, that you can depend on, and they can deliver value through proper services and innovative technologies too. So special thanks to everyone, and definitely thanks to everyone that joined us today from the attendees. Our webinars are not good without you. We're only having these great webinars because of your participation and because you're with us, because of the value you add to us. And special thanks to our panelists today, Dr. Alexi from Zecurion, David from Xcitium, Alan from Xcitium, and the supporting team from IMS, from Zecurion, from Xcitium. They will engage with you in chat. So please make sure that you spend time to chat with them. As Diana said, please ask your questions, engage with us, stay with us till we get to the end of the webinar, where we will have that fun game, the Kahoot quiz. And in that fun game, we will have 3 winners today, the ones that scored the top. And questions, I said, as Diana said, are going to be addressed during the discussion, so pay attention to it. This time there is a tiny change where we are not allowing anyone that won a prize with us in this year to win again in 2025, but you still have the chance to win 2026. This is just meant to help everyone win and give everyone a better chance at winning. We need everyone. We're all winners because we are the best IT and cybersecurity companies in the region, in this amazing Middle East and Africa. Perfect. Now, before I go to the panelists, I'm gonna try my best to summarize why I'm in love with these technologies and what really attracted me. And let me start maybe with Xcitium. Xcitium is an endpoint protection tool. And when you say endpoint protection tool, you may say, oh my God, we've got tons of those. We've got Symantec, we've got, Kaspersky, and we have CrowdStrike and McAfee, and have a lot of those. And why are you guys bringing something new, and what's different? And why do you say it is so disruptive? And the answer is simple. Do you guys remember in 2012 when Gartner introduced the concept of EDR, endpoint detection and response? That was a massive disruption to the industry because we used to protect endpoints using signatures, and what that was a massive failure. Do you remember those Stuxnet and Shaman and those malware pieces that disrupted everything we did in 2010 and 2011? So Gartner came up with the concept of EDR. They said if you cannot protect yourself, then at least try to detect an attack as soon as you can. And they called it the dwell time, the time that you need that your operating system or whatever tool you have to protect your operating system takes to detect an attack. That's a dwell time. And they said, you now can detect a behavior. I said, wow, we can detect behaviors of malicious attacks and of scripts and files. And the answer is yes. Thanks to the MITRE ATT&CK, they taught us what a behavior is. And thanks to great companies, EDR companies such as CrowdStrike, Kaspersky, McAfee, Symantec, everyone that was in the industry for taking this and developing those great tools that can detect a malicious attack, they can detect a behavior. They invested billions of dollars trying to make their algorithms detect better than anyone else. And that was perfectly fine. It did help a lot. But in few years, now we started having problems again. Actually, in a few years, maybe I think 2016, 17, when the dwell time became longer and longer. So first, CrowdStrike used to detect an attack and a malicious behavior in seconds, in minutes, in half an hour. Now it takes 120 to 20 days to detect a behavior. That's what happened to the Colonial Line attack. 120 days undetected. The dwell time has become too long. And that was disastrous. And that's why today we have so many attacks. And that's why today we needed a disruption. We don't need to invest further in making our detection capabilities better than anyone else. No, we need something different, exactly like what happened in 2012 when we got EDR as something different from how we used to protect endpoints. I'm going to share my screen again, like quickly, just to have a look at this, guys. If you just Google how many new pieces of malware we get every single day, do you see this massive number, this scary number? We have more than 500,000 new pieces of malware and ransomware lurking the internet every single day. Multiply this by 30 and multiply it by 12 to get the number. That's an astronomical number. That's huge, guys. If 1% of these come with techniques and tactics and procedures that cannot be detected, that's it, you're gone. And that's why we get news like this news. This one, 24th of September this year, hackers can bypass EDR by downloading malicious file as an in-memory payload. I think that was the attack, probably on SentinelOne or someone else. And this one, September 16th, CrowdStrike. This one, bring your the EDR bypass and the rest that come with bring your own device challenges. This one, new attack techniques bypassing EDR as low privileged standard users. And this one, 400 US healthcare organizations hit by ransomware. This is just like 2025, 2024, guys. EDR license silencer. Do you remember this? I think that was like a Kaspersky thing. So or maybe a different brand. And again, guys, it's not the problem with these technology vendors. Kaspersky is an amazing next generation antivirus. CrowdStrike is an amazing EDR. It's the problem with the technology itself. Detection doesn't work anymore. As I said, what is the answer to this question? What would happen if you do not detect the attack? There is no answer to this question, except with Xcitium. Brilliantly, they came up with something else. They said, no, this doesn't work. Investing more money in detection is a waste of money. You need to be able to protect your endpoint without detection. What? How do you protect my endpoint, my operating system, without detecting indicators of compromise, detecting behaviors and malicious scripts? And Xcitium says, yeah, we can do that. And they came up with a great, brilliant technology that's called ZeroDwell Isolation. That's what the analysts are calling it today, like Gartner and Frost and Sullivan. They said Frost and Sullivan said this is a distinct departure from every other vendor. Zero dwell, because the dwell time is equal to zero. The time to block that malware is equal to zero. We operate at t equals zero. Today, David will shed light on how that works. And the other technology vendor, Zecurion. Again, that was a great something that got my attention immediately. Just do this search. What happened to the Gartner DLP Magic Quadrant? And if you just click on the last Gartner DLP Magic Quadrant, it was published in January 2017. January, that's like what, 8 years ago? Why did they stop it? Yeah, of course, they want to do that data security, posture management, and document leakage is part of data controls. And yeah, but if you look at articles at that time, everyone said it stopped because we needed integrated capabilities when we manage our sensitive documents. It's not only anymore to block a USB connection so that I cannot copy the sensitive document to USB connector. It's not anymore only to connect to prevent me from attaching the sensitive document and sending it to my Gmail. It's not anymore inspection of traffic. It's more than that. It's integrated behavioral analysis where we can proactively tell if someone is trying to leak a document before they do that. We don't wait to the moment when they move that document outside of your digital infrastructure with a credit score so that you can investigate. And behavioral analysis and insider threat, you remember from COVID, it's a huge thing. It was a huge thing at that time. Now we use it specifically for data loss prevention and protecting your sensitive assets and your IP assets and documents. It's not only that. Who would block me today? Who would stop me today if I have a sensitive document in front of me and I take my cell phone and boom, I take a photo of that document? No one except Zecurion. And digital watermarking doesn't help. Zecurion does have a digital watermarking capability, but doesn't help with blocking. It doesn't block you. It deters you. It scares you from taking the photo. But what Zecurion does, it does actually block the device, lock the device if you try to take a photo of a sensitive document. It does have its own built-in data classifications capabilities. It does have its own DCAP, data-centric audit protection, that does not only look at documents being leaked, it looks at your entire documents infrastructure. If David creates a Word file today, why does Carla have it tomorrow? How can I track that? What can I do to revoke? And finally, easy DMARC. And easy DMARC was a huge thing. DMARC, my experience comes from the Proofpoint DMARC story. And DMARC came as, it's not, we're protecting your email. That's anti-spam, anti-phishing technologies and tools and gateways. And no, we didn't do that. We help you protect yourself from being impersonated. Want to make sure that the receiver of your email knows that you're truly sending that email from an authenticated email server. We have metrics on that. Okay, yeah, people did that previously. But what EasyDMark, and that's the beauty of the word easy, they had the magic wand, the magic stick, and made it so simple. Made it so simple, so affordable. We used to pay a fortune a few years ago just to add the DMARC service. And it's not only configuring your SPF records or DKIM records. No, it's a managed service that adds context, that helps control. I don't want to take longer. I want to switch back now. I want to switch to our panelists. I'll remind everyone, please pay attention. Please engage with us, ask questions. We will be happy to take your questions like as we can. My colleague Diana will help with that, and we will switch now to panelists. Now you talk to real experts, not to me. Okay, great. So I'll start with asking everyone from our panelists, like Dr. Alexi, David, Alan, to introduce yourselves, guys, like in a few minutes. Introduce yourselves, introduce your companies, and maybe a minute about what you got, what your technologies are about. So I don't know who want to start. Dr. Alexi, David, Alan, anyone who wants to start, please go ahead.
I guess we could start in alphabetical order, so Alan can go.
Yep.
That's perfectly fine. I'm really pleased to be here. I'm actually coming to you. Excuse me, my voice is a little rough. I'm coming to you from Sydney right now.
Oh, wow.
We're
That's
participating in the Kaseya Connect APAC conference in Sydney, Australia. So um, glad to be with you. I come to you basically from I've had about 18 years in cybersecurity. I actually started with a company back in 2007 called AppRiver. They were a leader in the anti-spam malware market, and then I was with them through a few acquisitions, and came to EasyDMark last year. So I really am pleased to be here. I saw a real need in a real niche in what EasyDMark is doing and what they're providing for MSPs. I had one guy many years ago said that everything is DNS. It's all DNS, right? It's really the root of everything. I think we saw that a couple weeks ago. But we're really have a commitment and an enthusiasm around email delivery, email deliverability, and making sure that MSPs have the ability to make sure that their clients are protected, that the email gets to where it goes, and that those clients' brands are protected. So that's where we are. So I really look forward to this conversation.
Thank you so much, Alan. Thank you for supporting our region. And guys, just to remind you, EasyDMark falls under the category of MSSP of the MSSPs, which we introduced in the beginning of this year, if you remember our webinars. And we already have everything ready. So we have the platform ready. We're happy to support MSPs and MSSPs under this platform directly from us and through also EasyDMark. Who's next?
Yes, I can go. My name is David Brown. I've been in the cybersecurity industry for almost 25 years now. Started off in Boston, where I developed a host-based cybersecurity system that was then adopted by the United States government. That became a presidential order that every system in the US government, particularly the Department of Defense, would have this program. I then was brought onto the US government as a subject matter expert in host-based cybersecurity. And from there, I spent years within the US government and allied countries deploying, supporting that operation. In about 2011, I moved to Saudi Arabia to help support their efforts after a cyber attack crippled their industry, and spent the next 15 years living in Saudi Arabia and bringing my expertise to them. And then in 2020, I moved to Dubai, where I help support and operate multiple MSPs throughout Dubai and throughout the region. And in December of last year, I moved back to the United States as the Vice President of Security Operations and Services and Information Security for Xcitium, where I'm today in Texas. And so, yeah, at Xcitium is a ecosystem host-based cybersecurity solution that covers everything from your device management, patching, remote control, all the way through the cybersecurity stack. We have multiple layers. We believe defense in depth is key. We have traditional NGAVs. We have the firewalls. We have everything built up, but our endpoint comes with our ZeroDwell. We even have deception layers in there that don't rely on breadcrumbs or decoys or honeypots. Every box has its ability to deceive and detect and evade, right? We have a statement in the Department of Defense called violence of action. Malware and attackers, that's their key. They come in hard, they come in fast, and they use that violent of action against end users and their devices. Our box is able to stop that in real time, preventing that violence of action from happening in your environment, not just on the endpoint, but also for your network shares. Our patented technology has just been extended to network shares. Normally, a traditional antivirus running on an unprotected or breached machine that has network access can now reach up to file shares, start encrypting data on your file servers and on other endpoints. We've now put out patented pending technology that the technology running on those file servers is able to detect that encryption and stop those write buffers from happening, where traditional antivirus and EDRs simply can't do that because the malware is not running, or the attacker is not running on that box. It's running on a remote box, just updating a file. But we can see that now, and we block that. So again, we're bringing multiple layers of protection to the industry, in addition to our traditional ITSM function in ecosystem throughout the entire platform.
Thank you so much, David, for your support to our region. I would like to dig deep and learn more about that technology and get the chance to explore it. I would like also to announce here that we're working with Xcitium now on a great initiative for our region called Xcitium Arabia. We're localizing everything, and hopefully soon we will be having our node in the region that will help a lot in latency and everything else. We will announce that in further detail in the future, and we will be having lots of power quiz training exams for Xcitium, Zecurion, and EZDMark and other products soon. Dr. Alexi, to you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Hi everybody. Thank you for inviting me to this amazing event. My name is Alexey Rayevsky. I am the CEO at Zecurion, and I'm in cybersecurity since my early student years, when I started to crack anti-copy protection systems. So I would say that I am the parent of later Russian hackers. But I decided to move to the light side. So in 2001, I founded Zecurion, which is currently provides data leakage prevention. Currently, I am unfortunately more in the business area rather than in the technical. But it's a life, unfortunately. Zecurion introduced the concept of next generation DLP, which is a reflection of our approach to the DLP concept, enhanced DLP concept, where we offered much broader protection from broader issues and problems rather than just data leaks. So with our next generation DLP, our customers can prevent some dangerous things like internal fraud, corruption, espionage, and other dangerous things. So it's not just compliance, it's not just protection from some kind of compliance tools, which is necessary just to satisfy your security auditor who creates a report about your practices. But we help to increase value of DLP system and to help solve some realistic and serious business tasks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alexei. I'm so happy to work with you. I'm so happy to see how you brought unique ideas and then you got it into the global stage and became such a global company today because of your knowledge. Thank you again also for your support to our region. Before I go back to the questions, I remind you guys, please engage with us. You can use the questions and answers, and you can chat, use the chat. We will engage with you in different ways. And I want to start with one comment that one of the attendees, Mr. Muhtar Kaura, had. He said, hackers today are using AI to enhance cybersecurity attacks, making them faster and smarter. You know what, Muhtar? We don't care. Because with the ZeroDwell isolation we have with Xcitium, fast or slow doesn't make any difference. And you will explore that in a few minutes. We don't care. The Zecurion detection for photography, the AI algorithms they use, it detects your movement in like 0.06 seconds with like an accuracy of 96, 97, or 95%. We're way ahead with that. So these are truly disruptive technologies. Great. So I may want to start with you, David. So David, the concept of detectionless is fascinating. Detectionless security. Could you like explain in simple terms how the ZeroDwell isolation works and why it's more effective, why it is zero, why the dwell time is zero, why is it more effective than traditional EDRs and sandboxing and others?
So at the end of the day, as files and executables and scripts and everything runs on your box, it passes through different layers. Where our ZeroDwell comes in is we do real-time virtualization of the registry, the file system, the memory, and the COM controls. And so as something's executing, it's of course going through our next-gen AV, our EDR with HIPs, and looking for everything in there that may trigger something. And at the end of the day, as it goes through everything, it then hits ZeroDwell. When ZeroDwell kicks in, which it kicks in for everything that executes on the box, it's looking for, is this a trusted application? Yes or no? Meaning that I have a trusted digital certificate and that code is signed, or me or my administrators or Xcitium themselves has proven that this is a trustworthy executable. Again, DLL, script, whatever it might be. It then executes normally, and ZeroDwell releases it to function. If it's not known or suspicious or does anything out of the normal workspace, we isolate that entirely. So it runs, however, we've blocked every commit because we've isolated that. It's writing to virtual space, and at the end, we close and clear that virtual space. Because we've intercepted all the commands and all the writes, we're able to do that in real time without sandbox technology, meaning we're not spinning up new machines. We're virtualizing exactly what it's calling for in real time because we're sitting at the kernel level. We're running at that layer 0 and layer 1. We're able to intercept all of these calls in real time, snap it out, and then that integrates into our firewall, for example. So ransomware executes on the box. The pop-up comes up, it starts encrypting all your files, and at the end of the day, it says, haha. Well, not really, because we cloned everything that you accessed. And now that's all written to the virtual space. And the moment you click away, all of that goes away and your files are completely fine. But because we're also integrated into our firewall layer, that's sitting on the host. We block the export of that data back to the criminal organization. So they don't even get the second form of the modern attack, which is the extortion, because our firewall immediately came up and blocked all of those COM access. So there's no back and forth, right? And even when we're looking at things that may not be ransomware or traditional malware, right? We're looking at a PDF, and a PDF opens up in Reader. That's fine. But then the PDF spawns a command line, right? Now we're back engaged again. Acrobat shouldn't be opening command prompts, right? And so again, because that's an untrusted process, even though the host process is trusted, the way that that second process opened is untrusted, and now it's contained again. And now everything that command line's doing is running through our ZeroDwell. That allows us to deceive programs into doing things so we can see what it is, get that knowledge, and then create signatures, create ML models so we can go and learn more about that, update our heuristics, which is running off of our ML models, and even our cloud-based antivirus engine that everything is sent through at the end of the day is got its AI engines and it's got real people behind it doing dynamic analysis. So as everything is being intercepted through ZeroDwell, anything that we don't know about or that isn't trusted, even if it is trusted by you, but we don't know about it, is sent up to our cloud engines. And then it's fully investigated by our tool sets in the back and then comes down with another verdict. It may go from pernicious to potentially unwanted or straight up to being, a threat, right? Or to no threat. Now it's trusted. We understand that this is a update to a Logitech keyboard driver, right? That we're blocking because we've never seen that DLL before. And Logitech, for whatever reason, chose not to sign that DLL. So we blocked that DLL from loading the first time. Now that we know it's positive, that can now be committed, and then you just click the commit button, it then writes it back down, and now every time you update that Logitech keyboard driver across your environment, it's now trusted. It's still running through all the process, but now we know it's good and we trust it, so we commit those. And that's the same thing that it goes on to when we just introduced our new network. When you're running the protection on your device, we've integrated into now a special scan engine that looks at write buffers from network shares. So when you're looking at the network protocol stack, that's going through memory and it buffers first before it writes to disk. Our scan engine steps in at that point and is looking for cryptographical entropy. So we're looking for encryption occurring in the write buffer. And when we see that, and it's not from a trusted internal source, meaning that the system itself isn't doing it, it's from an external command through the network protocol, we block that commit. And now the ransomware that may be running on an unprotected or breached system that's now trying to encrypt files on everyone's desktop or the domain controller or the file server, that write is being blocked. So that data is protected from that remote encryption process. And again, that all runs through that ZeroDwell process. We're now, again, in the memory, looking at the write buffer and just blocking that from ever being committed. And so that's kind of the basis of our ZeroDwell. And again, it adds up to our whole stack of systems. Like I said, our EDR with HIPS is protecting from injections, from exploits happening. Our ITSM agent is providing awareness, asset discovery, patching, right? Reporting, everything through the platform. It's a whole ecosystem. We have a SIM built into that. So your IT team can sit there and review everything in real time, make decisions. And then we have another agent, which is our extended XDR that you install on endpoints. That's bringing back OS query level data out of every endpoint into the system. So you can do advanced threat hunting. You can do deep dive investigations. All that stuff is available. And then say, because again, it's every product potentially could be broken down. For example, if the bad guys got enterprise access, restarted boxes, or had the uninstall password or things like that, they're able to go and do things that they can. Well, we have multiple steps in there in multiple agents, right, you may disable one, but are you going to disable the other one? And so we're still able to sit there and see what's going on. So when you look at tools like you were showing, EDR killer and things like that, we're blocking those and we're zero trusting those out. So they're not even running. But say for whatever chance that was able to get a foothold, or again, the box wasn't fully installed or it was running in a test mode, right? Are other agents still able to see everything, make those alerts, and then come back and then prevent that on future systems?
Amazing, David. There is a term for this, which is default deny. When I first read the zero threat isolation white paper, it blew my mind off. I said, my God, this is zero trust for operating systems? How do you do that? If the operating system doesn't trust anything, how do you conduct your work, your daily work? And that's the genius part. They managed
We don't stop it, right? So default deny blocks everything. You don't get to see it. So if you open an untrusted PDF file, for example, you're still going to be able to read the PDF. It's going to be on your screen. You can go through it if there's, because here's one of the big things, right? You take a legitimate document somebody needs and weaponizes it. At the end of the day, we're defanging that, right? The document still opens, the Word file still opens. The PowerShell that's embedded in the Word file is now all being ZeroDwelled, but the Word document's there. You can still read it. You can still, get the information you might need out of it. Can you save it? No, we're gonna block that. But you can say, hey, that's the information I needed. And now what's all this other stuff it's doing? And now you know, because we've deceived it into running, and we know now that that has been weaponized. And then we can go off and either find the original true source that we need, or let everyone else know that this document's weaponized. So we're not disrupting business from happening. We're trying to make sure that we have as minimal disruption out there by still providing that zero trust at the host level.
Yeah, so it is zero trust with zero interruption to business, if I like to say it this way. And when David said they work with the kernel, they truly have API integrations with it. It's not like solitaire game, like working with the sending requests to the kernel. No, we control of the Xcitium's agents. They do have that API. I'm going to switch to you, Dr. Alexi. And again, very disruptive technologies that you guys have. So with such a crowded place as the DLP market, we have the traditional players, I don't know, from 20, 30 years now, Symantec, Microsoft, ForcePoint, Digital Guardian, there are like plenty of them. If I would say, what are the top features, maybe because I know you guys do a lot of AI-powered features that Zecurion has that truly set it apart from the others, from other solutions?
Yeah, actually, I mentioned that we introduced a new concept, and it's our, I would say, main differentiation. But of course, using AI technologies are also the thing that I believe set us apart of our competitors. At the same time, we don't like this big hype which currently is around AI technologies and AI companies, and we decided to use AI quite, I would say, using quite practical approach. So we put it only there on those places where it's where it gives good value and where it's justified. So first of all, we've been using, I would say, pre-AI technologies. So I mean, it's we call AI this new generative chat GPT and other similar products, but there were AI before that ChatGPT, like machine learning technologies, like OCR, and we have all those technologies embedded in our product, and they could be used to identify some specific content, some specific documents by analyzing the text of the messages and of the documents, and those technologies actually help customers to effectively classify documents and mails and other pieces of information on the fly. So we don't, with the help of this approach, we don't rely on some preliminary data classification process. We don't need to integrate to have any data classification solution in place. We allow our customers just to, for example, select several documents, 10, 20 documents, and say, for example, those documents are projects, new projects about our development. And that's it. So our system can identify similar documents based on the analysis of existing documents. Also, we use same technologies when the security officer needs to analyze the incident database. Incident database is actually it's another differentiator of our solution, where classic DLP approach assumes database of security incident only. We keep all information of all data that we captured. So in classic DLP approach, for example, the security officer needs to anticipate in advance some kind of security, I don't know, data leakage or some other event, and create corresponding policy for this anticipated incident. In our case, in our DLP system, we capture all data. And for example, if the security officer decides to create some new policy, some new DLP policy, they may apply this policy to the existing archive and see if the violation of this policy had happened in the past. So we can detect not only current and future incidents, but also past incidents as well. And of course, with this archive, we can do many interesting things. We can apply some also pre-ChatGPT technologies like machine learning, like big data techniques, and get some new knowledge from this existing archive. For example, we can I would say the most powerful thing which could be generated from this archive is user behavior analysis. We can do behavioral profiles for different users, for different groups. We can compare those profiles with each other. For example, you have a financial department, and you can detect that one guy from this department, the behavior of this guy is completely different from the whole department, from the average. And we have also powerful tools for manual investigation, so you can investigate what's wrong with this guy. Maybe it's a boss of the department, and that's okay. It's okay that his behavior is different. Maybe it's a potential perpetrator, and this guy, I don't know, steal money from the company. So So basically, those are AI technologies, but I think most interesting and most, I would say, sound feature in this regard is screen photo detector. With this feature, we can detect attempts to take a photo of the screen by users, by employees. We analyze the image from the webcam, and with our AI-based algorithm, actually there are two, I believe, two neural networks which detects mobile phone. We can detect that someone places a mobile phone in front of the computer display. And in this case, we can generate incident. We can do some action according to the settings. For example, block the screen, block the account of this user, alert the security officer, and so on. And it's a kind of revolutionary feature which other DLP vendors don't have.
Correct. I agree with you. Dr. Alexei, so to emphasize on what you said around investigation, I love how Zecurion made that automatic investigation and investigation capability so simple and so easy and so rich to truly find what happened to those documents and prevent. And then you guys brought the user behavioral analytics to it, user behavioral analysis, and no one thought about bringing user behavioral analysis to document leakage prevention. But that was brilliant because now with user behavioral analysis, you can anticipate what will happen, as you said, because his behavior is weird. That could be an attempt to steal some documents and exfiltrate some data. That's amazing. And you add to that, so that's, remember the guys after Gartner saw that magic quadrant, people started talking about integrated DLP, not enterprise DLP, integrated, where you have tools integrated together. Zecurion had it in one pane of glass. You just move from one tool to another, one management interface. And with that screen detection of like mobile devices, I can take a photo. Everyone else is trying to protect from that using digital watermarking. Like they have your name, they have the document. It's a deterrent. So, oh my God, my name is behind that sensitive document. If I take a photo, everyone will know that I took that photo, but no one blocks me. Zecurion locks the device in 0.0 seconds. Boom, the device is locked. I cannot take that photo. That's genius. Remember during COVID when we had that insider threat, how the camera monitors you when people start working from home. And if I work and then your wife passes next behind you, the screen goes blank so that you cannot see what you're doing. They brought it to the DLP because the problem is not in your wife. The problem is in you trying to leak that document. And they brought it there. I'm so amazed with that technology, Dr. Alexei. Alan, I know I moved to Alan. Now, to let you know, guys, when I first tried the EasyDMark platform, you know what happens when you have red hearts coming out of your eyes, like, like in social media, and you have so much love happening and surrounded by hearts. That's what happened when I used DMark for the first time. And that's why we use it to protect our even systems, our own systems. And so to you, Alan, now, when people think about DMARC, they think about DMARC, they think about SPIF, they think about DKIM. Yeah, we know they're critical for email security, but they can be so complex, like notoriously complex to implement and manage. And people, they have so many inputs in that long line of the SPF or DKIM configuration. And sometimes you block, or shall we block, or should we just not block, or all of that hassle. But you guys simplified it big time. Can you let us know how you guys did that, especially for MSSPs, MSPs?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, DMARC has been around for quite some time. The actual authentication method has been around for a while. And it can be complicated because people don't really understand what it does. So just to break it down, in case somebody's a little confused, DMARC is an outbound email authentication. And I like to explain it sort of like you go to it, and this is the way that I like to tell MSPs to try to explain it to their clients. So you go to this nightclub, right? You want to get in, you want to have a good time. You walk up to the door, you have a bouncer at the door, and you hand the bouncer your ticket, right? And that ticket is sort of like your SPF record, right? It proves that you can go there. But then he looks at you and he says, "You know what? You're wearing your dirty jeans and you're wearing a jersey. You don't have a tie, you don't have a coat on." That's sort of like DKIM, right? So DKIM makes sure that the message itself, the body of the message, has not been tampered with. And so DMARC says it looks at the SPF and the DKIM records and says, hey, if the SPF or the DKIM records don't align, then the email is going to go to quarantine or it's going to be reject. One of the two. What happened about a year and a half ago was Google made this really broad
So the
move.
security guys won't let you in that nightclub.
Yeah, they will let you in that nightclub. You can't get in the mailbox, right?
Yes. Yeah, please go ahead.
But yeah, so Google made this big move about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. They require that everybody that's sending out that they have to have their email on P reject status. And I've met a lot of MSPs over the past year and a half that I've been in there. And I asked them, I was like, well, what do you do for DMARC? How are you managing DMARC for your clients? He says, oh, we just do it ourselves. We just do it manually, right? And so there's a concept out there with a lot of people that an MSP can just go in and they can just set their domain for their clients to reject status and they're going to be done, right? But it's much more complicated than that. Because number one, it's not just the domain that has to be verified. Their domain does not have to be is not the only thing that has to be DMARC compliant. Everything that they use that sends email out through their domain has to be DMARC authenticated. So if you're using something to send out invoices, or if you're using a CRM system, or if you're doing your invoicing, whatever's sending information out through your domain, that sending source has to be authenticated as well. And how do you figure out what that is? How do you figure out what those are? One of the things that people just also don't realize is that with DMARC actually sends back the information on what it's putting to quarantine or to reject. It sends it back in an XML format. And most of the MSPs out there have those RUA tags in their DNS. But all of that, I've met so many of these MSPs where they have the XML report just going to a separate mailbox somewhere. And I'm telling you that unless you're an expert in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, you're not going to be able to do anything with those XML reports. But what we do with EasyDMARC is those XML reports are forwarded back to us, and we parse those reports out. So as an MSP, you can go in and you can see, hey, these are compliant emails, these are non-compliant emails, and these are actually where are the attackers coming from? Where's the attack variant coming from? But with when an MSP goes in, I mean, if you think about it from number one, from a simplicity standpoint, if you have 30 clients in your MSP base or 50 clients, you don't want to be spending your time going in and logging into 50 DNS sites and trying to make, who knows how many DNS entries, right? What EasyDMARC has done is said, look, you can have a platform as an MSP and you can go in and you can set up your client and we're going to pull in all of their domains and we're going to pull in all their subdomains and we're going to show you all the sending sources that client is using. And you can go through and you can see the ones that are authenticated. You can see the ones that are not authenticated. But you know what, Mr. MSP, we're going to do you one even better. If you have a sending source that is not authenticated, we're going to give you an icon there. And when you click on that icon, you're going to have access to over 1,500 sending sources. And we're going to walk you through step by step how to authenticate that SPF, how to authenticate that DKIM record. So you have all the information there before you to get that done. And then through the interface, you can gradually move the policy from quarantine to reject, right? And all this is about email authentication. All this is about making sure that when your clients, because at the end of the day, as an MSP, your client's brand reputation is on the line,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And if that client, if their domain gets hijacked, if their domain gets spoofed, they're going to come back to you as an MSP and say, why didn't you stop this? I pay you as an MSP. Why didn't you stop this? Right? So we make it very simple to go through. If SPF falls out of alignment, if DKIM falls out of alignment, you're notified, right? You're notified that, hey, there's an error. We have notifications. And I know no MSPs ever have a opportunity or a situation come up where their clients decide that they have this new fresh toy that they want to play with. They have this new campaign that they want to play with, and they try to go in and set this up. And guess what? If it's not authenticated by SPF and DKIM and DMARC, then all of those are going to go nowhere. So now if your client adds a new sending source without you knowing about it, you're going to be notified on that as well. And all this is about, again, it's about making sure that the inboxes or the email that your clients receive, that they know that it has come from you. And they know that the body of the message has not been tampered with. Because if you have it on reject status and you don't align, they're not even going to see that message.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, that's a big hassle of management. It's not an easy thing, guys. And there are lots of attacks that happen because of either compromise, having those records compromised or that kind of stuff. So again, to remind you guys, with EasyDMark, we have the platform for MSSP of the MSSPs. Today, we're announcing it with Alan. So we're looking forward to engage with you in the region. It's a very exciting discussion and time runs so fast, but I'm going to try to have at least another round of questions with the gentlemen. And I'm going to address some comments here in the chat. So Mr. Saeed, yes, what do you think about ICS, industrial control systems and security demand? Yes, we do have solution for ICS security, OT security. That's a different discussion, a different product, and we will have a different webinar for that. Zero trust, Mr. Walid. And look at the magic. This is the brilliance. Yes, zero trust idea sounds great, but doesn't it add a lot of work on IT to approve application? And that's the brilliance of Xcitium. The zero interruption to business. That's the brilliance of what they did when they had zero trust deployed on your operating system. And actually, it is the building foundation for all of these technologies that you see, even Zecurion. You will even feel it. I don't know if you're going to have something about that, David?
Yeah, so we automatically trust certain vendors and things, right? So we look into digital certifications. When a vendor is a trusted vendor, we auto approve their digital signatures. And as Microsoft has said, and everyone should be doing, unless you're CrowdStrike, which is what their failure was failing to sign their DLLs and then side loading them into Windows. And Windows went, no, thank you, and crippled every box running CrowdStrike when that update was pushed. When applications, including internal applications, are digitally signed, we go to our digital cert list and say, is this a trusted vendor, yes or no? And for your own CAs, your own sign authorities, you can add those in. So now your code is trusted as well, which you should be signing your own code. If you're making PowerShell scripts, doing these things for internal IT, they should be signed. And if they're not today, they probably won't be working in the next couple of versions of updates from Microsoft because those are becoming standard, right? Unsigned code is bad. Then bad guys sign code. So we look at trusts we don't, right?
Yes.
Let's Encrypt is the #1 abused free service out there. Every bad guy is using it. In fact, I think Microsoft and PayPal, 98% of all attacks that mimic PayPal are trusted by Let's Encrypt, right?
Yes.
So in organizations I've worked for in the past, we automatically block anything from that, right? And same thing here. We're not going to trust a script that's signed with Let's Trust, right? Now, if that is something that you are doing, then you can go ahead and manually approve that single script, but not the code signing authority, right? So there's a lot that we can do automatically. But yeah, if it's something brand new and it does pop up, you're going to get that notification in your platform, and then you're going to go, okay, investigate it. Our team investigates it on the same time in the back end, because again, everything that is contained is set up to our cloud engine. Once it's in the cloud engine, if we determine that it's trusted, we then auto approve that going forward, right? So if something is disrupted on an endpoint, that is something that you need legitimately to use, it's only going to be disrupted that one time, right? And then after that, whether you've approved it or we've approved it, relaunch it and it works fine, right? We can even restore things that were contained, like, oh no, that was legit. Put that back in place. Go ahead and commit that because we've
with all
captured
files
that
and everything.
Yeah, and you can go ahead and do that, right? So we try to limit the IT workload by either auto going through things and then giving you the ability to do a lot of that stuff. But at the end of the day, the application's going to launch. It's going to work normally that one time, but the commits won't be there, right? So you were able to do what you needed to do. It's just not persistent until you go ahead and prove that, right? And in some organizations, they use tools from time to time that they don't need persistent, and they just allow it to continue to be quarantined. Like, for example, we auto block anything that's remote access unless it's our baked in remote access through our RMN feature. But if you're an organization that uses VNC or something like that, you can go ahead and allow that to work, things like that, or temporarily allow it to work, right? The call is yours on those things. So we try to really think about where the IT team is going to have and bring the tool to them so they use it. Because again, single interface. You see the alert, your IT help desk can sit there and ping that out and move through everything seamlessly through the platform.
Great. And Ayman Khan, you asked about the license for screen photography detection from Zecurion. Yes, it's a license. So Zecurion has the basic license that comes with everything we know about it, about DLP, and with all the integrated capabilities. Then they have added licenses, add-on licenses, such as photography detection, and our team can communicate. You can reach out to us and to any of my colleagues to if you need further details. And Ayman is also asking if Zecurion supports Mac. So Mac is part of the device control. So yeah, we recognize Mac, and they do all the device control, the stuff we know for ages, device control, traffic control, and even they crawl your data and rest as storage and stuff like that. So is that correct, Dr. Alexi? Right?
Yeah.
Great. Great. So let me go probably as quick as we can because we're approaching the end of the webinar through another round of questions. I want to go back to you, David. When you become an Xcitium customer, what do you think the most common operational challenges or fears that customers have been moving to this new model? Like we're used to, I don't know, Symantec and CrowdStrike.
Yeah.
And how do you guys overcome that? People feel weird when they change. They don't like to change.
Change is, and that's the thing, right? Change is never good. And at the end of the day, there are areas that do have some challenges, right? If you're already running vendor A and you're replacing the vendor B, well, then obviously that's going to be a problem when it comes to your IT team. You're going to have to go through and you're going to have to do rips and replace, et cetera, et cetera. And we try to address that in our system because, again, our platform is also providing you ITSM, right? So once you deploy our ITSM agent, the removal of the other product can be done through our procedures and scripts. So you can just sit there and say, here's the uninstaller for Symantec or Kaspersky or CrowdStrike. And we can just sit there, run a script, push it to every single box simultaneously and remove it, right? So that's one of the big challenges people keep talking about is I want to invest and I want to have this platform and these tools. However, we already have product one installed and my team isn't big enough to go off and remove everything and have a timely, safe procedure because you don't want to have it with no protection, right? So we provide that for you. Once our agent's there, our communication agent, the easy answer is deploy the script, the procedure runs, and then once you're done, you're auto removing the other product at the same time you're deploying the new product. And then even then, you can deploy our product in off mode, right? And then once you've transitioned off the old one, the uninstall happens, it reboots. When it reboots, it picks up the on policies, and boom, you're protected. You only had one reboot that you were needed to do in order to make those things happen. And so those are a lot of things that we try to take into account when it comes to moving, because we do hear that a lot of, well, I've already invested, things like that, or I still have 6 months left of my license, things like that. And we also offer, areas where a lot of vendors do, right? You have 6 months left, so we'll come in and we won't start billing to the end of that 6 months. And then you can have a slow rollout, right? You can have a really thorough, really easy rollout because you have that extra time in there and you don't have to worry about your first bill being simultaneously with your other bills, So there's a lot of options that we take into account to answer that question of what is the challenge when you're looking at this. So hopefully that answered that.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much. To you, Dr. Alexey. So when it comes to documents and there is like working with sensitive documents and stuff like that, there is lots around privacy and privacy regulations. And, those regulations are evolving, especially in our region. What does Zecurion help with, like the platform? How do you guys help customers stay compliant in such a dynamic regulatory environment, such as our region?
Actually, there are many aspects in this area, and privacy is often mentioned when we say that our DLP system controls everything, emails, messengers, other aspects of user behavior, and so on. And we often meet criticism that it violates employees' privacy. And but this actually it might be a problem, of course, but every organization needs to find a balance between the privacy of their employees and their internal security posture. And actually, there are many tools. They are not technical and they are not in the information security domain. They are more legal. I mean, some kind of agreements between organization and employees regarding what organization can control, what organization cannot control, and so on and so on. And I am sure of course, I am not a legal advisor, and my my statements couldn't be used as a legal advice. And I'm not expert in legislation of some specific countries in GCC region, of course. But I never met the country, the legislation where it's not possible to find this kind of balance, to find some, to articulate some kind of agreement between organization and the employee, so that organization can protect its assets and its information. As to the regulation, regulatory compliance, it's a little bit different type of privacy. It's a protection of personal information, protection of personal data. And in many places, this protection is very bad. It's very, I would say, catastrophic. I mean that every information is accessible on some dark net, dark web websites, and everything you can buy. I don't know, driver license database, some banking information, credit cards database, processing, credit card processing information, everything. And of course, regulations here is quite natural and quite logical. And we see that, I remember like 7 or 8 years ago when Europe just started to adopt GDPR, their massive and quite strict law regarding personal data protection. It was a lot of discussions, a lot of complaints from both sides. Companies said that this new regulation will block their business completely, will stop their operations, so they just have to close and end their business. But actually, from the experts, mind, this GDPR regulation is quite balanced and quite complete. We can compare this with United States data privacy legislation, which is quite scattered. There are no uniform law regarding data protection in United States. There are different acts for different industries in different states. I mean, for example, in California and in
Yes.
New York, there might be different laws regarding data privacy. And in this regard, European GDPR is much more integrated and logical. And we see that in Middle East and Africa, countries goes European way, and it's quite good. So I can mention that there are quite robust frameworks, legal frameworks in South Africa and Kenya, for example, and also in GCC countries like Saudi Arabia adopted PDPL, and in UAE at HICS, I don't know how to correctly pronounce it, we call it at HICS. And also in Turkey, we also work in Turkey, so there is also data protection law there, and organization, regulator who supervise supervise the enforcement of this law. So I see these initiatives, these laws, as a base point of all data protection. So this matter cannot exist in in vacuum. There should be some base where everything is built and develop in the future. So of course, from our side, we support all requirements. I would say that they are mostly the same. So I'm not ready. Of course, there are some differences, but I am not ready to discuss differences between Saudi Arabia's legislation comparing to UAE, comparing to GDPR and others. But in fact, they are quite similar, and they protect basically the same information in all countries, all legislations. And of course, from our side, we protect all those requirements, so our customers can create policies. Of course, we have some pre-built policies, and anyone can use them out of the box. But of course, often it requires some customization, and we have quite powerful and convenient policy builder where you can edit existing policies, create new policies, and actually you can create everything as an answer to some legal process.
Correct. Yes. So, guys, when you have company provided laptops and devices, and people have access to sensitive documents, you have to have the right framework, as mentioned by Dr. Alexey. Alan, I want to go to you now. And again, I have to keep saying MSSP of the MSSPs because you're a key piece in that initiative that we have in the region. And because we have lots of MSPs and MSSPs in our attendees today, so for those resellers and MSPs in the audience, would you give us like a quick overview of the partnership models and how us as like the platform and/or AZDMark, we can work as like have dedicated groups for each MSP, and then they can work with their customers. Like a quick overview, if you can help us with it.
We provide the services on a per domain basis, and it's a monthly subscription is the way that we work. We like to keep things easy to sign up. We also provide for the MSPs, we provide them a full marketing platform as well, because we think it's not just about providing the service, but how can we educate the MSPs? How can we help them educate their clients? So we have, a full marketing platform that provides for them co-branded information. It gives them the ability to do drip campaigns. It gives them the ability to have webinars, to training, sales education, everything to help create more of a base for them to feel confident about this. Most of what we're seeing right now with the MSPs, once we get them into the platform and the system, it's sort of like a light comes on with them. And what they're actually doing is they're taking the DMARC licenses that we have, and they're including that in their cybersecurity stack, just like they would anything else out there, because it is required right now by Google and Microsoft and Yahoo. So when they bring on a new client, they automatically get the DMARC licenses as well.
Amazing, amazing. I really wanted to have another round of questions with you guys, but since we're approaching the end of the webinar, we're probably gonna stop here. Let me address one question here from Walid Abdin. And what about uninformed users? Eventually, hackers continue to target users claiming to be another entity. Yes, there is a lot to be done here. So Xcitium today, they introduced, actually recently, they introduced anti-phishing simulation, and training platforms. So there's a lot to do around it. And Muhammad Abdu said, thank you, Muhammad Abdu, for joining us. I hope you guys are enjoying it. So now we want to switch to the fun part, the online quiz game. But Diana, do you have anything to say before we move on?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank our amazing speakers today for their valuable and insightful discussion that we had today. And also, I want to thank everyone here for their great attention and participation. So now it's time to see who was really listening and focused, because as I told you first that the quiz is gonna be about today's discussion. So I just want to remind you again that anyone that won in a previous webinar is not eligible to win again, because we're gonna have a fair chance for everyone to win. And also, don't forget that we have 3 brand Apple Watches, which gonna be won by the top 3 scores. So now, please open Kahoot app and then enter the game PIN, which is gonna be shown now.
Yes, so this is the Kahoot app, guys. This is how you get to Kahoot. Please download it on your mobile phone. So the way it works is that you use the app, the Kahoot app on your mobile phone. We will share the screen and you will get questions. But first, you get a PIN number for that game. And the PIN number has to be entered on your app so that you can join the game. So download the app, and this is how you can go through it. It's very simple. You download the app, then you go next, as you can see here, next. Select personal, choose personal. You are playing. Enter the age, enter some the inputs, have some inputs until you get to the screen where you have these 4 squares, colorful squares. Those are the ones that you use to answer questions and to join the game. So we'll give you a minute or so for everyone to download the app and be ready. Please in the chat, if you can mention if you're ready, so that we see if people are already there or not. And again, I have to thank our supporting partners: Innovative Quality Technologies in Saudi Arabia, FSD in the UAE, IBT in the UAE, Seniors IT in Jordan and in Qatar, UTP Systems in Egypt, Jordan, and Iraq, Tech IT Support in Oman, SecureWay in Yemen. Thank you for engaging with us. Thank you for inviting your customers and supporting this webinar. Wait for everyone. Please type in the chat if you're ready. I just want to see if there are many people ready or not, so that we can share the game. We'll give a minute or so, okay? So you can join either by entering the PIN number of that game, or you can click on the link I just mentioned. I just added here in the chat. I put in the chat. And I see, guys, some people are raising their hands for questions. You can ask questions in the chat, yeah. Mr. Muhammad, yes, you can join through the website. It's up to you. I think it's up to you. I think it's easier if you see our questions on the website and you use your mobile phone to answer the questions. The pin is here. I'm going to share the pin now. How do I share the audio to? Okay. So this is the game pin, and let's wait for people to join. It's fun time. So download the app on your mobile phone, or if you want to use the web, it's up to you, but I suggest that you download the app on your mobile phone. Yes, people are joining. Download the app on your mobile phone, enter the PIN number, go through the process of installing Kahoot. It's just straightforward. You don't have to do much, just next, personal, not much. You don't have to do much to join. And then enter this PIN number to join, like the people joining now. I see some. We need more people, guys. 1 more minute. Let me see if there are questions. People are asking about the PIN. So the PIN is 6147078. 6147078. Okay, we will wait longer. No issues, Mr. Haytham. We'll wait for you. To remind you, if you won a prize this year through any of our webinars, unfortunately, you won't be able to win again. Want to give like a fair chance to everyone, but I promise you, we'll have a lot of events in 2026, and there is a lot you can win. We're going to start the next year with an iPhone 17 Pro prize, so you will have a good chance next year to win with us. We will do lots of power quizzes, like almost twice a month. That's where you study material, then you join us, you go through a Kahoot exam, and then you win. And we'll do lots of webinars like those ones, and you have a chance to win. It's a very educational process, very interesting and engaging, and you learn a technology that makes a huge difference. We will wait 1 more minute. We cannot wait longer, guys, so please push, and let's see what happens. We are starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Boom. So you get the questions, you click on the right color that matches the correct answer. There is only 1 correct answer for each one of these questions. We have 10 questions. What region does IMS Technologies primarily operate in? Where do we operate? Kahoot always amazes me with that music. Sometimes they choose weird music for the question. I don't know. Sometimes it's like scary, sometimes fun. I don't get it. Looks like there is AI behind it. So do we operate in the Middle East and Africa, Asia Pacific, the moon, or in Europe? 20 seconds. 39 people got it right. Yes, we do operate in the Middle East and Africa. No one got it. No one chose the moon. And 10 people said we operate in Europe. No, we do not operate in Europe. We operate in the Middle East and Africa. Let's see what happens to the score in the first round. So Bella, you're on top. Everyone is close, so it's 982 points only. Like there's 979, a few points difference between, I think, Ahmed and Bella. There is Arshad too. Anas. We'll continue. Let's see what happens. Second question. Xcitium's endpoint security is known for being what? Detection-based, cloud-only, detection-less, or open source. For 30 seconds to go. Down. 17 people got it wrong. 22 people got it right. Actually, 22 people got it right, 17, 3, no. So Xcitium is detection-less. You don't detect, you welcome the malware. You don't care about how it behaves. You don't detect. If your endpoint protection strategy is detection-based strategy, it's a failing strategy. It's not going to work. I showed you probably 10 articles that show how detection-based technologies are failing. So it's a detection-less technology, and that's what makes it different. Let's see what happens to the score. Oh, Jabber, you're on fire. So Jabber and Awadeen and Anas and Shaban and Shakman. Let's see what happens next. Third question, Zecurion is a leader in which technology? Is it endpoint detection and response, EDR? Is it deep packet inspection? Or data loss prevention? Or email security? It's really exciting music, huh? 20 seconds to go. Five seconds to go. Boom. 34 people got it right, yes. So Zecurion main product is data loss prevention. They are the most advanced next generation data loss prevention tool that's integrated, that has integrated capabilities separate from the old style enterprise DLP systems. What happened to the score? Jabber, you're doing well, man. Proud of you. Awadeen and Shakman, you're doing well. Shaban and everyone else, you're doing well. We still have time to win. What is the primary goal of implementing a DMARC policy? Why do we need to implement DMARC policy? Is it to encrypt email content or to increase email storage or to prevent email spoofing and impersonation? Or is it to block spam emails? And I'm sure some people say, why don't you just shut up and stay quiet when we need to focus on the questions? No, I'm not gonna be quiet. I'm gonna tease you, make it hard for you to win. 15 seconds to go. And 5 seconds to go. And here we are. 33 people got it right. Yes, it's to prevent email spoofing and impersonation. And Easy DMark made that simple and easy. Let's see what happens. Jabber, you're truly on fire. Ahmed or Ahmo, Shaban, Shakman, Arshad. We still have some time, still have few questions left for you to win. Next question. What is the name of Xcitium's core technology? Is it Deep Guard or ZeroDwell Isolation or new EDR or Carbon Black? 30 seconds to go. And 5 seconds to go. And here we are. Yes, most people got it right. It's ZeroDwell Isolation. Some people like to call it the next generation EDR, the next generation sandbox. I don't like all of those because what Xcitium did is they disrupted the whole thing. They disrupted EDR, sandboxing, and everything else. It's ZeroDwell Isolation. What happened to the score? Oh, Jabber. Jabber, keep pushing, man. Shakman, amazing job. You just jumped like 4 steps up. Very good job, man. What does Zecurion heavily use in its solutions? Blockchain, manual processes, integrated tools, artificial intelligence, and next generation capabilities, or is it anti-spam technologies? "15 seconds to go." See, guys, it's 1 minute and it feels so long. This is how much you can do in a minute. Wow. Oh. Boom. 36 people got it right. Amazing job, guys. Zecurion has integrated tools. It does deploy artificial intelligence, and it does have next generation capabilities that no one else has. Okay, we have good job, Jabber, Shakman, Shaban, everyone, Awadin. You guys have the chance. Make it hard for Jabber to win. Next question. Which of these is not one of the core email authentication protocols EasyDMark manages? Not. Come on, more. We need more answers. We have like 50 people participating and we only have 38 answers. Keep pushing. You get more points if you, of course, you get the question answered correctly, but if you do it faster too. This is how we get more points. Good job, guys. 30 people got it right. So EasyDMARC does not manage any VPN protocols. They're focused on SPF, DMARC, DKIM. Okay, Jabber, good job, buddy. You're on fire, but everyone is chasing you. It's not gonna easy. Like 7 points or 6 points between 9 points, sorry, between you and Shaban. Let's see what happens. Next question. Xcitium's approach proactively does what to unknowns? Proactively, before things happen, before an attack happens, before IOCs, before indicators of compromise. Proactively, it's prevention, not detection. 30 seconds to go. We need more answers. And 10 seconds to go. I need more answers, man. This should be easy. Yeah, most people got it right. Yes, it does isolate them from the beginning. That's zero trust. You don't trust it. You isolate it, but you don't interrupt business, because zero trust alone is a disaster for endpoints. You don't want to block business. The second thing, guys, you see how EDRs, what does an EDR do? It detects a malicious behavior, then it responds to it. It tries to isolate it, block the network card, stop the processes, do whatever it does. Xcitium does it early, before there is a malicious code. If it's unknown, then it goes in a virtualized copy of the critical resource of the kernel. It doesn't work directly with your endpoints. So it does what people do after the disaster early enough, and that's why our dwell time is equal to 0. Shekman, you did well, man. Amazing job. Jabber, you still have a great chance. I believe in you and everyone else. Let's see. Which is not a traditional DLP component, which Zecurion covers, not a traditional DLP. Not a traditional DLP. And for some reason, the music is spooky. It's Halloween time, so music is spooky. I need more answers. 20 seconds, and we only have 35 answers. I need more answers. This music is really spooky. Boom. Not many people got it right. Guys, traditional DLP is about what? Is about device management. You block the USB, for example, so that people cannot copy the document to the USB memory stick. It's a traffic control. You connect to the email gateway and stop someone from sending the sensitive documents as an attachment. Data at rest. This is what is storage and SharePoint and stuff like that. So these are the traditional DLP components. What's not a traditional DLP component, which Zecurion covers, and only Zecurion covers amongst all of the next generation DLP technology vendors, is screen photography detection using AI and your webcam. Let's see what happens. Shekman, amazing job. You're on fire, buddy. Hamza, you're also on fire. You're moving. Jabber, keep pushing. I know that you can do it. I think we have 1 or 2 questions left. Everyone has a chance. That's the last question. Easy DMARC's partnership with ILMS helps resellers offer DMARC as what type of a service? Remember, we said this like a million times. What type of a service? This should be an easy one. You get like higher points, a quick one. And now the music is not a Halloween music for some reason. "20 seconds to go, 33 answers. We need more. Keep pushing. Keep pushing." It's the last question. Are you gonna let Checkman win? And Hamza? I don't remember the names. Yeah, most people got it right. Yes, it's part of the MSSP of the MSSPs, which is managed services. It's part of our managed services. The platform is ready, and we've launched it, and we're ready to work with partners and MSSPs throughout the coming year. Let's see what the final score is, and the winner is the three winners, actually, because we have three winners. So this is our innovation showcase. In the third place, Jabber. Amazing job, Jabber. I did believe in you. Hamza, second place. And in the first place, under the spotlight, is Beckman. Good job. We have two people from Jordan. I think Jabber, I think you're from Qatar. I'm not sure. Congratulations to everyone that won. It was an amazing experience. Thank you so much for being with us today. And it was a pleasure. It was a very educational session, a session that helped us learn a lot about innovative technologies. We're happy to see people winning. Don't feel bad. We have lots of power quizzes. We have like 20 to 24 power quizzes that you can join and win. And we have plenty of webinars next year. You definitely can win. We're gonna have iPhone 17s and Apple Watches in the coming webinars and power quizzes. And with this, we conclude. Thank you so much for being with us. It's only great because of you guys, our attendees. Thanks to our special panelists, David, Dr. Alexi, Alan. We highly appreciate your support. Thanks to our great team at ILMS and our partners. And thanks to everyone that supported this webinar. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again very soon. We'll have a power quiz I think planned in the end of November, like next month. So we'll see you very soon. All the best. Thanks, David, Alan, Alexi, everyone else. You guys have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.